Hello friends, welcome in my class. In my previous video, we have discussed that what is the use of syntax analyzer and what the syntax analysis phase do in the compilation process. This is the second phase of the compilation, and during this phase, the stream of tokens are converted into a parse tree. That's why this phase is also called a parser. Now, to convert a stream of tokens into a parse tree, this phase uses a grammar that is called context-free grammar. Now, in today's session, we will discuss what is a grammar, how to read a grammar, and how the grammar play an important role in this phase. So let's start it. Now, you can say that context-free grammar is also called type 2 grammar, and this grammar has four parameters. The first one is called v. Now v is nothing but set of known terminals or variables. You can say it it is also called known terminal, it is also called variable, and in a grammar anything which is in capital letter is called variables. Then we have sigma, set of tokens, also called input terminals or symbols. Anything which is written in small letters, small case, is nothing but input symbols. It includes operators also, it includes special symbols. So third one is we have p, the third parameter. P means set of production rules. Now these rules are used to decide how to make a string. So the manner in which the terminals and non-terminals can be combined to form a string, that will be decided by the production rules. This is one of the most important part of a grammar, because with the help of production rules I will make a string. Okay, so now the format of production is something like this, that it has alpha tends to beta, where alpha is a non-terminal variable, it is called left hand side of a production rule, and beta is the sequence of terminals, non-terminals, called right hand side of the production rules. So each and every production rule will be in the form of alpha tends to beta, and we have to understand that whenever it is about a context-free grammar, in that case you can say that we have some rule. The rule is, I already told you in my previous video that alpha should be a variable, first thing. Alpha should be a single variable, whereas beta, it could be variable plus terminal of closure. And third thing is, the magnitude of alpha should be less than equal to magnitude of beta. These are the rules of context-free grammar. So we have to take care of, whenever a grammar is given, whether it follows these rules or not. If yes, then okay, it is a context-free grammar, and parser can use this grammar to generate a parse tree. Now we will see some examples of a grammar. Let's start with. Just think that we have given some set of production rules. Now as you can see that on left hand side there is only one variable, so we can say it is a context-free grammar. Now there are how many production rules are there? Rule number 1, s generate as. Rule number 2, s generate s generate a, s generate epsilon, and a generate small a. So total there are 5 production rules which are given under this grammar. The name of the grammar is G. Now one thing is that we can write all these grammars in short form also, like this. You can see we have first rule, S generate AS. We have second rule, S generate double S. Third production, fourth production, and fifth production. So I can write it in short form also. Sometime it will be given like in this format, and sometime it will be given in this format. So we have to learn that what is the meaning of these things. Now you can see how many letters are in capital letters. So there is S, the first one, there is E, the second one. So anything which is in capital letter in a grammar is nothing but the variable. So just see, this is your variable. How many variables are there? Two. One is called S, another one is called A. Now how many letters are in small letters? A, small a, epsilon. So these two are nothing but the input symbols. So we have two input symbols, small a and epsilon. Then all these rules which is given to me are nothing but production rules. So you can say total we have 5 production rule under this grammar. And finally, which one is the start symbol? As you can see, the first production rule, here it is S. So I can say S is the start symbol. So in any given grammar, there will be variable. You should be able to identify the variables. There will be terminals. You should be able to identify them. Set of production rule and set of start symbol. The start symbol is from where we have to start making a parser tree. Let's take another example. Just see that if we have a production rule E equal to E plus E, E minus E, E multiply E, and E equal to IT. So total how many production rules are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I can say how many variables are there? There is only one, that is called E. How many input symbols are there? Sigma. You can say there is plus, there is minus, there is multiplication, and there is ID. How many production rules are there? You can say there are total 4 production rules. As you can see, these are the rules. And finally, which one is the start symbol? Start symbol. You can say E is the start symbol. Here it is E. Let's take one more example. Now here V is equal to how many variables are there? Only one, that is S. How many input symbols are there? You can say A, small a, you can say B, small b, and epsilon. How many production rules are there? So you can say there are 3 production rules. Production rule 1, production rule 2, and production rule 3. Which one is the start symbol? That is S. So this is how to read a grammar. I hope it will clear your doubts. Thank you very much.